Ever walk past a business and a beautifully crafted sign caught your eye? That's what we create at Eminent Signs and Graphics Inc. Whether you're starting fresh or revamping your brand, our expert team designs, fabricates, and installs signs that truly embody your business's spirit. From channel letters to monument signs, we handle it all. Ready to stand out? Visit us today at 1888 Freeman Avenue in Signal Hill, California, and see the magic for yourself.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... He landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation. Welcome back to Turn 200's coverage of the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Card Championship. We're live from the flattest track you know. It's Sebring International Raceway, all nearly 4 miles and 17 turns of its glory here once again on Turn 200 for, I believe, just the third time in our history. Very excited to get back to it here tonight with week number 4 of the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Card Championship, and it's the booth duo reunited here on a Wednesday night. Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson are alongside. Matt, you missed an eventful week at VIR last week. We'll take a look at the points here in just a second, but it's good to be back here at Sebring tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is. We really don't have Sebring on the channel very often, but I mean, it's one of the more famed courses that we could go to. Extremely flat, really bumpy. It can be a little treacherous here, so excited to see what the drivers have in store for us.
3 3/4 mile. It is an interesting track. A couple of very constricted sections of this course that navigating traffic are going to be difficult, but a couple of sections where navigating traffic should not be an issue at all here tonight, and that will come as news, and welcome news at that, to some of these drivers who have had their hands full the last couple of weeks. Point standings, though, will not really reflect any major hits to the already prominent players of the season here. Just 3 weeks into the season. Things kind of status quo from last week to this week.
Yep, here is a look at the points after 3 weeks of competition. Christopher Hill is atop the LMP2 standings, and of course not far behind is Brody Gunter. We've seen them really battle it out the last couple of weeks big time. Nate Siefker sits there in third. Drell Williams and Josh Heggie will round out 4th and 5th. Siefker, of course, has had a lot of speed as well. Has made some untimely mistakes. He's going to look to do a little bit better here tonight. Dave Seats, I don't think that's really a surprise that Dave is atop the GT3 standings here. JJ Wang, Matt Schlosser, Alex Howland, and Kevin Burrows are going to be your top 5 there. Seats with a pretty decent margin for this early in the season.
And it could have been a lot bigger if it weren't for a spin with a couple laps to go with a helping hand from Matt Johnston, who ended up claiming second. Johnston penalized for the contact there. So Seats rocking a 23-point victory, or rather a 23-point lead, including a victory last week at VIR. He's got 3 on the season in total. So yeah, Seats ahead of the GT3s. Christopher Hill with a strong week last week, had to drive all the way through the field in the dash race, and ended up finishing in 4th, then finished second to Brody Gunter, who picked up his first sweep of the season last week, so he has closed that margin in by quite a bit as well. Matt Schlosser, you saw there in the GT3 standings as well, picked up the feature race, and a pretty fun feature for both divisions. Lots of lead changes, lots of comers and goers, lots of contact, and lots of crashes. We'll see if we're in for much of the same here tonight. One thing that's going to be different from last week to this week, as you'll notice, it's kind of dark, and I believe it's going to continue to get darker as this race rolls along. The sun will be setting here in Florida around the Sebring International Raceway. 3 3/4 mile. This is a big track. It's wide in some sections. It is not very wide in others. Kind of reminds me of our trip to New Jersey Motorsports Park and the Halloween race a couple of seasons ago. And we've got the trick-or-treat bonus back in play here tonight, similar to what we did in our first season here with the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship. If a driver can sweep a class, they will take the treat bonus, $20, if they could sweep the dash and the feature here tonight. But if nobody sweeps tonight in either division, it is the driver with the lowest amount of points across the 2 races in a class that will take the trick bonus. So an extra $20 to the driver who, I guess, does the worst, but also you have to finish both of the races as well. So
on the lead lap.
On the lead lap, yes, thank you. So thank you to Brian Deese for sponsoring the Trick or Treat once again. And that's just another thing to keep our eyes on here as the sun continues to go down here in Sebring. It's time to go racing as the field lines up behind the pace car down the front straightaway. It is Brody Gunter who will lead the field of green after breaking out the broom last week. He is looking to continue to close in on Christopher Hill. But Hill's not too far away. He'll start to his outside here on the front row. Josh Hagee, double podiums last week. Nice week for the 099. He'll start in third. Joe Williams still in the top 5 in the standings. He starts in fourth. Nate Siefker with a good podium in the dash last week, but had problems in the feature. Didn't get to finish. He'll start in fifth, looking for a rebound. Dan Migel, a nice qualifying run. He'll start at sixth. It's Brian Deese and Austin Lafferty on row 4. And then it's the Rutherfords. Shout out to Mama Don in the chat. Joshua and Corey on the back row here for the LMP2 division. To the GT3s now, it's Kevin Burrows who will lead the field to the green flag. He won a couple of weeks ago at the Phillip Island circuit. Dave Seats has been a winning machine here this season. He's got 3. He's the points leader by 23. He'll start in second. Johnny Alford and JJ Wang will be on row 2. Good to see the bagman back in the field here tonight, starting in third in the division. It is Mike Pepper and Mike Hamlin. Mike's on row number 3. Then we move on to Matt Schlosser, last week's feature winner, deep in the field here with Alex Allen to his outside. Ian Lakeland back in the lineup tonight. So is Nick Batista. They'll line up side by side. Renee Garcia, Matt Johnston, who got a second-place finish in last week's feature with a penalty here as well. Calvin Levy had a dash podium last week with Rob Henry to his outside. Travis Fleming, Brian Bonneau, Will Wolf making his first appearance with the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship. Tyler McLennan and Blair Warner, the rest of the running order here. 29 drivers are going to take to Sebring here tonight, looking for a little bit of trick-or-treat magic around Sebring. Matt, what are the weather conditions as the sun continues to set, and what are these drivers up against here tonight at Sebring?
The sun is setting here. 82 degrees is the track temperature currently. Probably expecting that to go down as the temperature continues to drop. Very little wind to contend with here as well. Not that it would come into play a whole lot here, but that's always good for the drivers. We have the dash race or the sprint race coming up for you here. Expecting about 11 laps for that one. Something that we haven't talked about a whole lot from my memory is that the LMP2s now have 60% fuel capacity because they were running into some issues with potentially running out of fuel at one point. So that has been up, so no worries about that. Unlimited tires. They do get one fast repair. That's a big thing in this league. Most leagues that we broadcast, you do not get any fast repairs. You get one in each race here in the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship. 14X is a drive-through penalty. 21X is a disqualifications. Full course cautions could potentially be triggered if iRacing deems it necessary. And I don't know. This is going to be interesting, Tommy. This is an extremely flat course. You will slide the tires if you are not careful. And it is easy to get yourself into one of those blue and white barriers. And if you hit one of those at any rate of speed, you are probably going to have to take that aforementioned fast repair.
Yeah, certainly. These guys and gals are hoping to avoid the barriers, if at all possible, here tonight. 17 turns to contend with, some narrow sections like really turns 7 through about 13. Fairly constricted. Once you get to the Bishop Corner in 14, and then 15 and 16 back to the Ullman Straight around the Sunset Bend, it starts to open up quite a bit. Those are the runways, believe it or not, here at the airport. See a lot more runoff. Still some barriers. Still plenty of blue and white to try and avoid. That is exactly what Gunter and Hill and everybody else will be looking to do here for 20 minutes in the dash race here at Sebring. 3 wins apiece for these front 2 runners starting this season. Go ahead.
I see some fun Halloween paint schemes throughout the field here. Travis Fleming has some pumpkin teeth on the front of that Mustang, and I believe, who was it up here in the front that has a Ghostbusters? Oh, that's Terrell Williams.
Yeah,
and the Ghostbusters 24. So some fun paint schemes here tonight as well.
Well, let's hope we can extend the fun to the on-track happenings here as well. As around the Sunset Corner we go. Pace car is off the field. He's racing back to the line. We're green at Sebring, and they are 3 wide, headed into turn number 1. Advantage Gunter in the left-hander. Side by side for the GT3 lead right now. It is Dave Seats from the outside pole looking to take the top spot. Kevin Burrows hangs to his inside. JJ Wang is right here as well. Contact and a spin further back of the GT3 division. Still trying to get it sorted out. I believe that's Rene Garcia who has gone around. Gunter leading up front in the LMP2s.
Burrows just about went around in the Mustang. He's able to hang on to it, but here comes Mike Hamlin to his inside.
A couple of drivers locking up here into the tightest turn on the circuit, the hairpin, but no major incidents. In the hairpin, anyway.
These first few positions in the GT3 class are being heavily contested at the moment as Alfred trying to get through. Oh, I hear a huge crash further back. That is Rob Henry.
Henry.
The Bass Tracker 002 has he's got quite a bit of damage there. He was tracking the wall, I think, instead of the Bass, unfortunately.
Oof. Well, there's got to be a lake around here somewhere. So Seats leading as they head down the Ullman Straight, and Gunter, the overall leader, with Christopher Hill about a half a second behind. Oh, problems for Johnny Alfred. He has gone backwards out of the La turn, and he will now drop all the way to the tail of the field. Gunter leads it at the line. Hill, Heggie, Siefker, Miglin, the top 5 in the LMP2s.
My goodness, Howland just about ran over Matt Johnston there. Not really any fault of the Howlands. Johnston just felt like he had to take that turn a little bit slower, that final right-hand corner. LMP2's pretty spread out. The GT3 action has been pretty heavy back here already.
Yeah, we're still in a conga line around most of the circuit here for the GT3s. The top 3 have broken away for the LMP2s. It's Gunter, Hill, and Heggie who has turned it on here the last week or so. Nate Siefker about 2.5 seconds behind the podium runners in the top division.
Brian Deese has caught up to Jarrell Williams, but really hasn't had any sort of opportunity to try and take that position away. Well, Calvin Levy looks like he may have had an off track a little bit further back. He's lost a couple of positions.
Seats with a 2-second advantage on JJ Wang. Mike Hamlin in third, Kevin Burrows in fourth, Mike Pepper rounded out the top 5. Burrows and Hamlin close together here. Gunter is way wide there into turn number 1, off into the grass, but it's not going to cost him all that much time. It's a home race tonight for Gunter.
Rene Garcia tucked up underneath of Alex Howland the entire way down that long straight towards the final corner. Here comes Josh Heggie looking to fight for second. He's going to have to battle Christopher Hill for it.
Hey, I'll tell you what, it's kind of getting dark.
It has certainly gotten dark in a hurry.
Headlights look a lot brighter, and they look a lot brighter in the mirrors of Christopher Hill here as well, as Heggie is closed in inside a quarter of a second. Kevin Burrows likewise closing in on Mike Hamlin once again. But nobody's got anything for Dave Seats or for Brody Gunter for the time being. Wang not under pressure. Christopher Hill certainly is.
Yeah, Hill's gotten away from Heggie a little bit here. Heggie with a much wider entry into the final corner. Nearly makes contact with the outside wall, but that is what you have to do to be fast around here.
It's funny how it's a game of inches here at a nearly 4-mile long track.
A little bit of American muscle doing battle here. Mike Pepper in the Corvette trying to overtake Alex Howland in the Ford Mustang, and Pepper had a big moment there, and now has Rene Garcia trying to pounce.
Pepper had a good week last week at VIR, hoping to capitalize on it. Garcia, man, right there against the inside wall. He's already had himself a spin here this race. Against the tire barriers goes Pepper, down a spot. Garcia, though, still under fire. Now having to switch to defense.
Those two are really getting after it here.
Christopher Hill is voluntarily giving up second and third because of some internet connectivity issues, so he has dropped back to fourth.
And Pepper comes out on top of that battle with Garcia. And now we have a battle for fifth in the LMP2 class, also the fifth overall position. Dan Miglin, Terrell Williams, and Brian Deese all fighting for it.
Oh, no. Mike Pepper and Rene Garcia just had some 4X contact. They're still both rolling, though. Not surprising given what we just saw. But, yeah, here's Miglin leading the train with Terrell Williams and Brian Deese right behind. Ooh, Deese nearly into the tire barriers there. Gunther continuing to clock purple laps up at the front of the field. Oh, problems for Rob Henry and Tyler McLennan as well. They've made some contact. They're still going. Oh, but McLennan just hit back. So Christopher Hill, hoping that his internet issues are behind him, is going to start to try and work his way forward here. As he's got Nate Siefker right ahead. Meanwhile, Williams, Deese side by side for sixth. And Williams will hang on.
Yeah, that battle was set up with Williams not getting through that tight hairpin right just before that very well. Got off into, whoa, and a big moment there as well. Got off into the dirt, or the sand, rather, and he took him a minute to get it back on the racetrack. That is a very difficult corner, and it's deceivingly slow as well. You feel like you can kind of carry a little bit of speed around it, and then all of a sudden you're off into the dirt on the left side. It feels like it's kind of wide. You can carry some speed, and then all of a sudden it's really tight right. And then you got to go back to the left. It's a tricky one.
So Tyler McLennan will be the first driver down pit road to pick up to clear a meatball flag. Kevin Burrows reeling Mike Hamlin back in. That is for third in the GT3s. Dave Seats with a comfortable 4-second lead on JJ Wang. Brody Gunter has extended his advantage to 3.25 seconds. Hill still not letting Siefker out of his sight. Okay, John. Thanks. Thanks for stopping by.
Tommy's always carrying this joint. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. No. Anyway, Christopher Hill will take third away from Nate Siefker. Little dive bomb there. Hill had an outstanding drive in last week's dash to start from the pits to make it all the way back up to 4th.
Battle on your screen right now. Alex Hallen still trying to see if he can move forward a little bit. Matt Johnston up quite a few positions. Hallen's been a little bit slow getting the speed rolling here, but starting to get into it. Well, I was already hungry, and now I want a peanut butter and jelly.
I want a hot dog.
Not the hot dogs again.
Yeah.
We've already done that bit.
Yeah. Never gets old, though. Tell me a hot dog doesn't sound good right now.
I'll tell you what, it does sound good, and I have some more juice for this one this time. Went to Portillo's last weekend, and the relish that they put on those hot dogs is absolutely divine. So if you ever have the opportunity to go to Portillo's, get the Chicago dog and ask for extra relish. It is absolutely delicious.
There you go. Word to the wise from Matt Williamson.
It looks like maybe a little bit of trouble getting through some traffic here. Brian Deese has finally gotten through on Terrell Williams, has been riding behind him for quite some time here.
Williams has had a couple of slip-ups that have allowed Deese to stay in the fight, and now Deese getting through.
Also somehow missed the pass for Hill getting through on Siefker. That happened very quickly.
Oh, that happened several laps ago.
Okay. Well,
it did happen quick, though, in your defense.
I missed it on track. Oh, yeah, and Siefker just kind of gets loose, pulls off into the grass and lets Hill by.
Hill and Gunter both kind of said that this week would be a little bit easier getting through traffic. Still not easy, though. Certainly not. Gunter's given up quite a bit of time here to Josh Heggie, who is in pursuit and catching the traffic in better places.
Well, here's Brody Gunter trying to get through on some GT3 traffic.
Yeah, the runway straights are pretty easy, but most of this track is not the runway straights. It's this. The taxiing lanes.
I mean, the one thing that they do have going for them is there's a bunch of little straight chutes like this one that Gunter is on right now. And if the traffic is playing nice, they'll just kind of pull off. Or I shouldn't say pull off, but they will slow down marginally to just let you by in one of those little straight chutes. So there are definitely more good opportunities to get through traffic. There's no doubt about it.
Heggie has cut the gap up to Gunter in half. It's now 1.75 seconds here with 6 minutes to go in the dash race. Brian Deese is continuing his march forward here. He's caught up to Dan Miglin in 5th. Oh, problems. Nate Siefker got into GT3 traffic. Rob Henry is stuffed into a barrier. So Mike Hamlin has not been able to shake Kevin Burrows, but the good news for both of them is they have caught J.J. Wang. So it's about to be a 3-car scrap here for spot number 2.
And JJ, of course, seems to like the flat, the almost street course-esque type of courses. So JJ should feel pretty comfortable here, I would imagine. There is a lot of pressure being applied to the 61 of Wang right now, though.
JJ Wang and his friend Dan Miglin both under fire here from multiple angles.
Oh, Josh Heggie has caught Brody Gunter extremely quickly here.
Yeah, that was just a 1.7 second gap. It's now 0.17 as Gunter is having a hard time finding his way through traffic.
And Heggie kind of feeling that same effect there through the right-hander onto this straight. He lost quite a few car lengths.
Yeah, lost all of it in the middle sector.
There's a lot
Heggie
going
is
on the
pushing
racetrack
hard.
right now.
Yes, there is.
Dan Miglin, Brian Deese side by side. Deese has the inside. Miglin has the outside. He's going to try and carry a lot of speed around the outside, and does. Deese not able to get out in front. Miglin had a huge head of steam down the front straightaway. Oh, and then overshoots it into one, and here comes Darrell Williams. Oh, no, that was netcode contact. I'm almost certain it was. That is a little unfortunate. Williams gets caught up in it as well. The Lafferty gets through on Deese and Williams here.
And our battle for second in the GT3s is converged with Brody Gunter. Gunter got into Kevin Burrows there, and Burrows has now lost this party. Josh Heggie also now with a pass, being passed rather by Christopher Hill.
Oh, no!
And Heggie. Oh, that was JJ Wang and Mike Hamlin, both. Tough place to catch the field, and Heggie went bowling there into the hairpin. So now Siefker's back to third. Hill is to second all of a sudden, 2 seconds behind Gunter. And now Dave Seat's lead is 9 seconds. So second, third, and fourth, all with big issues here on this lap.
Yeah, Schlosser, Johnston, and Howland all got through on Wang there.
My, oh my. Well, this will be the white flag coming up here for Gunter, and it couldn't be a moment too soon. Really, that whole battle, for all of them actually, was set up by an off-track for Heggie to sort of drop him in the lap of Christopher Hill.
Oh, lots of battles going on here. Deese gets slowed down by a lapper on the inside into one.
And JJ Wang getting his elbows out in the GT3s, battling with Alex Howland, trying to pick up some spots here. He's up to sixth.
And Howland is around.
Howland is off.
Oh, man.
That was Mike Pepper. Now Deese is back through on Darrell Williams. Gunter leading by 2 1/4 seconds. He's got clear track in front of him. So does Christopher Hill. Now Brian Deese getting through on Austin Lafferty, and so will Darrell Williams. So that's a 2-spot swing for the 17 and the 24.
Oh, Williams takes a dive. My goodness, just about wiped out Brian Deese.
That was so close. That one would not have been netcode.
No, certainly not.
Well, so much for traffic being easier. Here we go around the Sunset Bend. Brody Gunter, unconcerned with everything happening behind him. He will look to pick up the treat here tonight. Gunter will take his 4th victory of the season. We'll take the purple lap to boot. Christopher Hill will finish in second. And Nate Siefker, it's the podium we might have expected, but certainly an interesting route to get there. certainly unconcerned with everything that's happened behind him. Dave's seat's a quiet but great victory here tonight. Fourth one of the season for him. Kevin Burrows, Mike Hamlin, the podium finishers in the GT3s. They had eventful races, no doubt. My, oh my.
I mean, it was all going pretty good there until like the last 3 minutes, and then it all just, I don't know, it all just happened.
There was the trick, and multiple people, I believe, said, "Smell my feet." Thank you. And with that wonderful Halloween pun, we'll go ahead and send it to our mid-roll break. As always, Phil continues to work here as the checkered flag is out for the dash. We'll talk to your dash winners here in just a moment as ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship coverage from Sebring continues here on Turn 200.
Ever walked past a business and a beautifully crafted sign caught your eye? That's what we create at Eminent Signs and Graphics Inc. Whether you're starting fresh or revamping your brand, our expert team designs, fabricates, and installs signs that truly embody your business's spirit. From channel letters to monument signs, we handle it all. Ready to stand out? Visit us today at 1888 Freeman Avenue in Signal Hill, California, and see the magic for yourself.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Turn 200's coverage of the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship from Sebring International Raceway is presented by Eminent Signs and Graphics. From channel letters to monument signs, they handle it all. Team Watson Racing Setups, Mullet Music Productions, CJR Graphics, and the American Sim Racing League, celebrating 25 years of sim racing excellence.
All right, folks, we are back from the mid-race break, and we are here with your once again winner of the sprint race in the GT3 class. That is Mr. Dave Seats. Congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, again, I feel like this is just a common theme week after week. You're out front there minding your own business, and all hell is breaking loose behind you.
It does seem that way.
I mean, what was it like out there? I know this is a very flat track. The tires tend to want to slide here quite a bit, especially with some of the bumps in the middle of corners and such. I mean, what was it like out there? And then, of course, you have to deal with the sun going down and then getting dark in the middle of the race as well.
Yeah, I mean, the track is very deceiving. It looks like you can really attack it, but you have to be very mindful not to overdo, a few corners, because if you do, it ruins the next 4 corners. As far as the sun going down, that mainly hit us in quali, but I'm looking forward to the night. I love night racing around Sebring.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you kind of work your way through the field here. You certainly tend to do it quickly. We'll see what you got here with all the GT3 traffic that will be in front of you. Anybody you want to shout out and thank here before we let you go?
You guys and ASRL for putting everything together for us to race. Eminent Signs and Graphics for being the title sponsor. And then also Full Sign Graphics and At Ease Tool Sales for sponsoring the car.
Alrighty, sounds good, partner. Well, good luck here in the feature, and hopefully we'll talk to you afterwards.
Thanks, man. Hopefully it's better luck than last week.
We will certainly hope so, and we'll get a word in here with Brody Gunter, who's out on the track here in the warm-up, getting ready to go here at the home track, looking for the treat here tonight, looking to break out the broom once again. But great work there in a pretty interesting race with everything going on here in the confines of Sebring. Well done.
Thank you, guys. Just so definitely had a lot more speed than I thought I was going to. Came tonight with like little to no practice. I had no real expectations, kind of just to shoot for a podium or to be able to talk to you guys again. But yeah, it turned out pretty well. Got the pole. Kind of drove away for a little while before catching lap traffic and then lost a bit of lead I had. And I was starting to get nervous there. I think I was going to have the reverse of how I've won all the other sprints I've won so far. So just happy I was able to keep them behind me and get the win in the end.
Yeah, keeping them behind you is one thing, but with the drivers in front of you, I kind of forgot when we talked last week that this is going to be a night race. You've got the two big wide straightaways, but outside of that, man, there were a couple of times where traffic was its usual handful that we've seen week in and week out to start the season. I mean, whether or not it's better or worse, you're going to have to go through a lot of it here tonight in the feature. How do you plan on attacking the rest of the field tonight?
Well, I'd like to hear what Dave's answer for the GT3 is going to be, because for me, it's only got to pass 9 cars compared to his 18. So for me, it's going to be a little easier, I feel like, except when we get the traffic. So just kind of being a little patient. I don't know how turn 1, turn 2 is going to go, and officials, those are always chaotic wreck fest. So being a league, I don't expect it being as bad. I mean, I think the GT3s got 12 through turn 1, 2, which I was surprised by just with the sheer amount of cars they had. So I think it's just going to be just being patient, getting through it all. And if I had the same speed I had in the sprint and the feature, and everything goes right, I think I have a shot at winning again and possibly going for the treat.
Well, there you go. We'll look forward to that. 42nd win with the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship, 4th of the season for you. Congrats. Shout-outs for you.
As always, CGI Graphics, Mullet Music Productions, Tone 200, Eminent ASRL, and 510 Racing.
The two-time champ looking for back-to-back sweeps from last week to this week. Best of luck here, and we'll hopefully talk to you again at the end of the next one.
All right, thank you.
So good to talk to Brody there. He swept VIR last week, looking to double up and take the treat here tonight. Thanks again to Brian Deese for that one. $20 coming Gunter's way if he can do that. Yeah, that was like you said, that all came up quickly. It was looking to be a pretty calm race, and all of a sudden, it was not. I would imagine with the full field inverts for both classes here, we're about to see much of the same.
Yeah, I have a feeling that I think it's going to hit us a little bit harder maybe, or a little bit quicker, I should say, than it did in that dash race there. It took a little while for everybody to kind of get jumbled together, but once they did, it was... it was certainly a sight to behold. They're going to have to do it a couple of times here in the feature race, I have a feeling, and by that I mean make their way through the slower traffic and get passed by faster traffic. So everybody's going to have their eyes peeled, ears open, and hopefully there's no smelling of any nasty feet here in this one.
Yeah, we can only hope. Some programming notes for you in case you missed the announcement on Monday night. First of all, thank you again to everybody with the Ghost Squad Reform of the Super Series on a fantastic series that was. That is now wrapped up. But since tomorrow night is Halloween, Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series playoffs will resume next Thursday night, not tomorrow night. So we are off tomorrow. We will be back in action on Monday with Truck 200 recruitment racing from Texas. Oh, the league is up to 45 drivers now, but we could always use a couple more. So we'll race at Texas and integrate some of our new guys with some of the legends and classic drivers of Truck 200 and bring it back for its final season Monday night at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And next week we'll be at Fuji for the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship. That'll be a fun one. That will be at the usual 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that as well. So we got about a minute and 40 seconds left to go here before we get back to the racing. Hello to John Kay, who's been hanging out with us all night here tonight. And anybody else that is hanging out with us, drop us a chat. Let us know. Let us know what your favorite Halloween candy is. Matt, do you have a favorite Halloween candy that you look forward to around this time of year?
I don't know if there's necessarily one for Halloween specifically that I, prefer this time of year rather than the others. But, those little snack size peanut M&M bags are pretty tasty. And I do actually prefer the mini Snickers to the full-size bar. So I guess if there's one that's better, Halloween snack size, maybe it's that one.
I think I've realized as I've got older that maybe I was raised to be a contrarian because I seem to like the candy that everybody hates. I love candy corn. I love circus peanuts. I love the black licorice jelly beans, but those are more for Easter than for Halloween. And I like the vanilla Tootsie Rolls as well. Those seem to be unpopular for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Those are super good. The flavored, the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls are pretty good as well. Now I'm a candy corn guy myself. I can't eat a lot of it, but I do enjoy it. I'm not repulsed by it like other people. But the circus peanuts are pretty rough. I do have to admit.
Crunch bars. Enjoy a good Crunch bar. I think my favorite Halloween specific candy in the last couple of years has been the Shrieker's Skittles. Those are really good. I really like those. So I wish they would bring back the hot Skittles. I miss those. And also crispy M&Ms. Bring them back. But that'll do it here. We'll send it now into the feature race for the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship. Here at Sebring, it's time to find out who's going trick-or-treating. As here is the starting lineup. We'll start with the LMP2s. It is on the inverts. It will be Corey Rutherford leading the field to the green. Joshua Rutherford will start to his outside. They had quite the contested battle there before a late spin for Corey. Relegates him to the pole here. Austin Lafferty lost a couple spots on the last lap. He will start in third next to Jarrell Williams. Brian Deason, Dan Miglin. On the next row, it's Josh Heggie, who had a lot of speed, didn't have anything to show for it. He will line up next to Nate Siefker. Christopher Hill and Brody Gunter, the usual duo, with a lot of work to do here at the back of the grid for the LMP2s. Now over to the GT3s. Will Wolf will lead the field to green. Tyler McLennan will start to his outside. Blair Warner and Calvin Levy on the second row. It's Rob Henry and Brian Bonneau on row 3. Travis Fleming and Nick Batista on row 4. Mike Pepper, Johnny Alford on the 5th row. So starting at 11th, it'll be Alex Allen next to Ian Lakeland. Renee Garcia, J.J. Wang, Matt Johnston, Matt Schlosser, Mike Hamlin, Kevin Burrows, and Dave Seats. Shotgun on the field. He'll start 29th with a lot of work to do. Took his time last week at VIR, picked his way up into the podium spots before getting turned late. He'll hope to avoid a similar fate here tonight after a great start to his evening with the dash race. As we get ready to roll the cars off the grid and let the LMP2s through the GT3s, Matt, sun is fully down. The headlights are all the way on. What do we got here for the weather conditions and anything else we need to know ahead of the feature?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is it is totally dark here at this point. There is no light to be had from the big orange or yellow sun, whatever you want to call it. Track temperature is a little bit lower, not incredibly low. It's 79 degrees. We've certainly seen lower. We are in Florida, so I think that's probably about as low as it would get. Wind conditions still pretty low on a wind as well, so really nothing to worry about there. Similar conditions as we had going into the dash race here. So this is the feature race. It's going to be a 40-minute timed race. Still the same amount of fuel in these cars. They will have to make one pit stop, and they do still have one fast repair. So we're expecting about 22, 23 laps or so here for this one. And again, full course cautions could be triggered. Turn 1 isn't all that crazy here, so I doubt it. But we've jinxed things worse before, so I guess you could still put that on the table.
So Will Wolf and Blair Warner will start from the pits, so that should put, for the GT3s, Tyler McLennan and Calvin Levy on the front row. You are allowed to miss Texas, John. In fact, you're allowed to miss any week that you want. It's just for the new folks that need to figure it out at Texas. And we'll hope to see everybody there regardless.
Just know that I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, we'll both be very disappointed, but not mad. Sour Patch Kids are good. I'm glad somebody else likes Circus Peanuts as well. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. They got to make them for somebody, right?
I need to bring back the candy cigarettes. Those are those are pretty damn good.
It's effective marketing there.
Not for the marketing, just for the taste.
Oh, okay. I will say they do taste pretty good.
How about a little fun dip? A little fun dip out there?
Oh
anybody?
my gosh, fun dip! Holy cow!
I don't think anybody's giving out full bags of fun dip for Halloween, but boy, were they sure good.
Headed through Lamar, down the Ullman Straight. It's all about to kick off. Who can take advantage of the invert here? And who can keep themselves out of trouble, like Gunther said? Carnage Corner, Calamity Corner, into turn number 1.
I think the one we need to pay attention to here is probably Dave. Although he's getting a little bit of help with a couple of drivers starting from the pits. But, man, the competition was fierce in that GT3 class right in the middle of the pack. And he is going to have to try and work his way through that chaos.
He'll certainly have a good look at all of it as they barrel off into turn number 1. That pace car is off. It's the Rutherfords leading the field. Corey onto the gas. We're racing here. They are 3 wide. They're 4 wide at the stripe. Look at that.
Oh, some contacts. Nobody around.
Rutherford still leading. McLennan and Levy leading the
GT3s.
The
GT3s. Nick Batista.
Batista plummets through the running order. Problems for Austin Lafferty as well. He'll bring it back onto the track right in front of traffic. Headed to the hairpin. It's only going to get tougher. Here's a challenge for second. Sievker looking to take advantage. He'll move up to P2. Lots of shuffling in the GT3s. Johnny Alford picks up a spot in the hairpin.
JJ Wayne looking to make his through as well. Brian Bonneau headed backwards a bit here.
Bonneau blinking a bit. Siefker is right here on Corey Rutherford. Joshua Rutherford and Christopher Hill are side by side here as well. Oh, problems for Austin Lafferty. He has crashed. Seeker will look to take the lead.
Oh, some contact between the two.
Rutherford incredibly loose there.
Oh, Fleming and Pepper have gotten together. Both of them are way off the track. And it looks like Pepper has to take a tow.
Oh, Corey Rutherford has pounded the barrier, trying to defend the lead. He will have to take a fast repair as well. New leader is 45, Nate Siefker. Christopher Hill, Brody Gunter, not too far behind. Calvin Levy leading the GT3s back to the line. Rob Henry, Tyler McLennan, the top 3.
Well, here they are yet again. Siefker, Hill, and Gunter getting ready to do battle in the LMP2 class in the feature race.
I'll say Siefker has not exhibited the pace tonight that we've seen throughout the rest of the season. Oh, and a big slap oversteer there. And now it's going to be Gunter Hill and Siefker nearly 3 abreast here through the tightest sections of the course. Gunter trying to stick a nose in there, wheel to wheel with Hill and Siefker. Hill with good drive. He'll look to take advantage here through a couple of left-handers. Siefker fighting back. Contact! Siefker goes around. Nothing much more he could do there.
It takes Siefker a long time to get turned around. He loses a ton of time and all of the positions there almost.
Jarrell Williams with problems says that he has had some hardware issues. But here we go for the lead once again. Gunter and Hill in lockstep with one another.
Contact! No! Hill goes around.
Into the sunset bend. Hill with problems.
Miglin, Heggie, Brian Deese, and Joshua Rutherford all get through.
What a crazy couple of opening laps here. Calvin Levy still leading, but not by much for the GT3 class. Rob Henry is in second, closing in from half a second back.
Boy, this GT3 contingency right here is something else.
Wang with a move to take over third from McLennan. They're side by side behind them. It's Mike Hamlin and Matt Johnston with Rene Garcia right here as well. They're side by side behind them. It's Dave Seitz trying to pick off Matt Schlosser.
Yeah, Schlosser and Burrows getting after it here. Seitz really with... didn't have anywhere to go there for a moment. Now he's going to try and take a peek to the inside. Not able to get it done.
That is a yikes in the chat to Jeff Mathis.
Oh my goodness. I read it and I didn't really get it until just now.
Yeah. Anyway, brother, here's Wonderwall. Here's Brody Gunter leading by 1.2 seconds over Dan Miglin. He's keeping decent pace here with Gunter. Christopher Hill just got through on Joshua Rutherford to move up back into the top 5. Gunter, though, with a purple lap up front.
Oh, contact between Garcia and McLennan. And then Garcia gets tapped in the rear there as well.
Look at
Schlosser and Seitz still getting after it.
Scramble into here. Garcia with a slowdown to serve. With Schlosser and Seitz still side by side down the Ullman straight. And for the lead for the GT3s, Calvin Levy and Rob Henry were just side by side. Henry stuck it in deep there into turn number 1.
Look at Schlosser. Schlosser's trying to pick. Oh, no! Garcia turned to the inside wall and comes straight back across the racetrack. My. Oh, dear.
That was certainly an incident. We've got a lot to look at here in just 7 minutes of racing. We're going to have 7 minutes of replays.
I don't know if I'll be able to find all these replays. There's been too many.
I'll keep an eye on the goings-on if you want to try and start somewhere.
Yeah, we'll watch Schlosser try and pick this position off. McLennan headed backwards. Oh, and pushes one off into the grass.
That was pretty tight. Still
And-
tight. Ooh, that was Burrows. Here we go for the lead again in the GT3s. This time, Henry able to scoot ahead.
And for second in the LMP2 class, Miglin and Heggie getting after it here. Heggie is through to second.
Heggie's been outpacing Gunter the last couple laps. He's not too far up the road. Only about 3.5 seconds left to go. As again for the GT3 lead, we're side by side. Here's Levy back to the inside in the Sunset Bend, and he will take the top spot back. JJ Wang is here licking his chops.
Oh boy, I feel like JJ, once he gets through, should be able to open up a bit of a gap here. But getting through on both of these guys as they're battling is not going to be very easy, although he does make a little quick work of Henry there, so may have a good opportunity. Like Hamlin not all that far behind either. Hamlin has had some pace.
Dave Seat's about 3.5 seconds behind. Maybe a little bit more. Nate Siefker making a move on Joshua Rutherford to move up to 6th.
Here's JJ going to take a peek to the inside. Not able to get it done there. Oh, Levy off. JJ should get a run here.
Levy crowding, though. Tough spot to do it as they head towards Lamar. That was well defended. He was on the back foot there for sure. Wang now with a big run down the Ullman straight, going to swing it out to the left side. Looking for the long way around into Sunset.
We have seen the outside work here to carry speed. Boy, they just about came together.
Oh, Wang is pushing hard. He's right up against the barriers. No contact, but he's got the run. Game of inches. Wang will take it into 1. Levy fighting back. Well positioned, though, by JJ. Rene Garcia's night is over. Levy now going to be under fire. Here is Mike Hamlin. Hamlin with the nose out ahead, trying to take the long way around into the hairpin. Levy crowding him there on the left side rumble strips.
Alrighty, let's see if we can take a look. Here is the incident that kicked it off. This is Batista. Oh, it just gets off of the grass, and then, yeah, he gets touched from behind. I mean, got off into the grass, got loose. There wasn't a whole lot he's going to be able to do about that one. Oh, there's an incident for Alex Hallen with a blinking car. That is unfortunate. Here's that problem for Joshua Rutherford getting off track. And here is the 3-wide incident where Mike Pepper ended up getting turned, and then Fleming gets turned here as well. And that's the one that took Pepper, where he had to take a tow. That was nearly a race ender for Pepper there. Here's the Siefker incident. This is with Christopher Hill. This was a big one to kick it off towards the front of the field. I mean, that is hardly any contact. But you make some contact in the front end. Starts going around. There's really nothing you can do about it. And then, of course, here's the incident between Gunter and Christopher Hill. Fighting for the overall lead. Hill trying to make the right-hand turn. Gunter is to his inside. I felt like Gunter was pretty far inside here as well. I mean, there was a little room down there, but he was underneath of the yellow line. I think Hill may have misjudged where he was a little bit there, potentially. I think as far as big incidents go, I think that was most of them right there.
So last time around, Dave Seats moved up to third in class, got around Calvin Levy. Levy and Henry made some contact after that, but they're still riding in fourth and fifth. No changes at the front of the field. Christopher Hill is hounding Dan Miglin here for spot number 3 overall. But it's still Gunter with a 5-second lead on Josh Egge. And J.J. Wang leading Mike Hamlin by a second and a half.
Hill's going to try and take a peek to the inside here. Ooh, Miglin awful close to that tire barrier on the outside. Hill is through. And then
So
here...
Ooh. Levy and Henry side by side.
Yeah, this is a big group.
There's an LMP2 in here as well. Corey Rutherford had to come down and take a fast repair.
And Corey decides he doesn't really want to get too much into the mix. Huge stack up there. Rutherford saw that one coming and backed out of it.
Burrows, Schlosser, Johnston, all with contact.
And Johnston has pretty heavy damage to the front of the 404. He just signed up for Truck 200 today. We've got quite the eclectic group that we're excited to see out on track on Mondays coming up.
Yeah, it's our Turn 200 All-Star League, essentially, is what Truck 200 is. Very excited for that. Still got some spots open if anybody else is interested. Dave Seats closing in on Mike Hamlin. He's got him inside of a second. We'll continue to watch that. Brian Deese trying to reel in Dan Miglin.
Potential pit stops not too far away here.
Matt Schlosser going to make an early stop here. Again, he's been off the road a couple of times. Would imagine he has some damage. So he'll bring the 400 down.
Brian D side by side with Miglin here into one. Deese is around the outside there. Will be around the outside again. But Miglin is going to let him have the spot.
I think Miglin is going to let him have the first crack at trying to get through traffic here. Like, oh yeah, go right ahead. See if you can pick your way through, and I'll follow.
Yeah, if Deese has to try to get around the outside here in the hairpin, that could be ugly. He's going to slide right on through before they get there, though.
Traffic is not required to yield, but they are required to hold their line as they are all bumping and banging it off the road in front of them. That is Burrows. as well as Calvin Levy. Oh, Miglin.
Oh, look at this.
What a send. Absolutely slinging him over the shoulder there. What a move. 9 out of 10 doctors do not recommend that one.
Dees got slowed way down with traffic, and he was just going to wait until he was through the corner to try and make the move, and Miglin shot it right up the gap.
Well, that's one way to take the spot back. Miglin out by a second. Christopher Hill closed it in on Josh Heggie here for second place. Dan Miglin over the radio said, I got away with that one. I don't think I would do that again. I agree.
Boy, Hill getting into some heavy traffic here, trying to battle with Heggie.
Whoa!
Oh, and Heggie hits the traffic.
Yeah, that was Rutherford who's pinned behind a GT3, and Heggie had to slam on the brakes there. Hill to P2. Not too far behind them, Dave Seats continuing to catch Mike Camwood, 0.3 of a second. Kevin Burrows, Calvin Levy will come down pit road. So Hamlin and Seats now have Miglin and Deese right behind. Miglin will thread his way through. Deese hoping the door is still open. Oh, he has to get on the binders hard, and he's going to make some contact there. Oh, that was nearly disaster from Mike Hamlin, who cannot catch a break of late. He just caught one there.
And this is Siefker and Deese starting to battle here in front of him. Oh my goodness. They just about made contact with JJ Wang on their way through.
So Siefker looking for a couple spots here. Try and get himself up to fourth. Pretty Gunter purple lap, 148.06. That is a wicked fast lap. 0.2 up on Christopher Hill, who just turned a personal best. Gunter just picked up his first incident point of the race with it off track into turn number 1. Hamlin and Seats continuing to go at it here as some of their GT3 fellow GT3 drivers are starting to hit pit road here, including Alex Howland. And JJ Wang now is backing up in traffic. He is right in front of these two, so it's the top three. Almost. Oh, Wang nearly buries it into the back of a slower car. Blair Warner off the track. They've got Joshua Rutherford coming up here as well.
Whoa!
That was close. Does not get much closer than that. Christopher Hill now clocking the purple lap. You can't tell he and Gunter have found some clean racetrack, but that's all about to end.
Siefker is all over Brian Deese here into turn 1.
First LMP2 down pit road, it's Dan Miglin. Seekers through on Dees.
JJ Wang down pit road. Leader of the GT3 class.
Leader is in. Matt Johnston is in as well. We saw this GT3 lineup change quite a bit through the pit stops last week, aided, of course, by a penalty for JJ Wang, but a lot of positions shuffled by some early and late pit stops. Siefker with a problem into the hairpin, locks it up. He will let Brian Deese back through.
Brody Gunter coming down pit road here.
Christopher Hill is going to answer. Some gamesmanship between these two. Josh Egge's in from third. Gamesmanship between these two on their tire strategies the last couple of weeks. Gunter said it didn't work out for him at Phillip Island. He tried it again for some reason last week, and it worked. All the top five are in for the LMP2s. Deese and Siefker in as well. Brian Deese, too fast entering. That will take him out of contention here, seemingly anyway, for a top five.
Most of the LMP2s are in right now. Must have been getting low on fuel.
Must be. Mike Hamlin, Dave Seats will give up the lead, the top two runners in the GT3 division. Should give the lead to Johnny Alford. Nope, Alford is coming down pit road. Next up will be Ian Lakeland, and then it'll be back to JJ Wang.
This is going to make just about everybody down pit road. In fact, I think everybody except for Lakeland.
And here is Lakeland now.
So there you go. That's everybody.
So where will JJ Wang shake out? Will he take the lead back from Hamlin and Seats, who are side by side coming off of pit road? JJ Wang coming down the pit straight. Leaders are off into turn one. Wang is going to lose 2 spots. Dave Seats is through to the lead, and that is not what Hamlin and Wang wanted to see.
Certainly not. You want to make Dave Seats work for it. You can't give him that front position, but he has it, and he may start to extend it.
Brady Gunter extended his lead through the pit stops as well. It is now nearly 8 seconds on Christopher Hill. But you got to wonder, did he take tires? Did Hill take tires? Questions, 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 and not a lot of answers.
Whoa. Siefker and Miglin just about came together. Battling again for the 4th position.
Headed into Sunshine Bend. Siefker on the left, or rather on the right. Miglin on the left will give up the spot. Siefker is through to 4th.
Gunter, Hill, and Heggie all with very similar pit stop times. I'm believing that they probably did not take tires. Nate Siefker about 5 seconds slower. I think he did take tires.
Well, Hill came in just a tick under 6 seconds behind. He is nearly 8 seconds behind as they run, about 7.5. So he lost a chunk of time somewhere, is hoping to get it back, and then some. Surprisingly, most of the LMP2 runners with 0 incident points, Hill and Heggie, Miglin, Deese, and Corey Rutherford, and Austin Lafferty, all with 0 incident points thus far. Rutherford's is especially surprising since he had to pit for a fast repair. I would imagine that would have given him a 4X, but apparently not.
Kevin Burrows gets through on Rob Henry. That'll put Burrows up to 5th in the GT3 class.
So Corey Rutherford and Austin Lafferty will make their fuel stops. That will mean everybody has come down pit road. They had already been down pit road to get fast repairs. Burrows not too far behind Matt Schlosser here.
Other than Schlosser, Burrows, and Henry, everybody pretty spread out here for positions anyways. Mike Hamlin hasn't lost a ton of time to seats here. Just right at about a second is the margin.
Only lost a 10th to him last time around. I think Seats had a run-in with Brian Deese. But we'll see if Hamlin can reel him back in. Christopher Hill slowly but surely is gaining some time here on Brody Gunter. Last time around was about 9/10 quicker. This time at the stripe. He is 4/10 faster. So that margin is coming down a little bit.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of time left here. We're now under 10 seconds left in the race.
Gunter will catch some more traffic by the end of it. He'll catch Ian Lakeland right now. But just a car at a time, you can handle that. There's not really any huge pockets of traffic in front of him. Unless he could catch up to the group that Matt Schlosser's in right now. And that one might be a little difficult.
Here's a battle on the racetrack. Johnny Alford, Alex Howland. And Alford will rocket around the outside there in that bend. Kevin Burrows is piping in some good laps here, still catching Matt Schlosser.
Calvin Levy just had an issue. Looks like he has made some contact with the barrier. That car is seeming to drive pretty ill at the moment.
Schlosser gives Burrows the inside through turn 1, and Burrows was out front for a moment, but Schlosser fighting back. Schlosser able to hang on to it.
Good racing here. Ooh. That was close there for Burrows. Two drivers that have managed to beat Dave Seats here this season. Schlosser 2 times a winner. Burrows with a win at Phillip Island. Seats has been able to extend that advantage over Mike Hamlin now to a 2 1/4. And Gunter has started to pick up the pace again on Christopher Hill. That gap is nearly back to 7 seconds. So it's looking like 2 treats here. But does Sebring have another trick or two up its sleeve?
Well, as we saw from the sprint race in the last few minutes, it is not over until it's over.
Certainly not. Schlosser with a bobble. Here goes. Kevin Burrows through again. We'll try the slider. It doesn't work.
And there goes Brody Gunter. So Gunter was actually able to get through fairly cleanly there. He had to slow down a little bit through the turn, but really not too much of a problem.
If you're going to catch a big group, you want to catch them in the Ullman straight, and that's exactly what he did. Schlosser is way wide, nearly tail whips it into the barriers out of turn 17. And will finally cede this position to Kevin Burrows, and now is dropped straight into the lap of Rob Henry. Oh, Corey Rutherford is around. Looks like he may have made some contact with the barrier there as well. And that is a meatball flag for him. So that will ultimately, more than likely, bring an end to his night. Christopher Hill, last time around, nearly 2 seconds faster. He started to catch up again.
Yeah, he lost quite a bit of time. He kind of caught Schlosser and Burrows in a tough spot there.
Gunter again with a few more cars to pick off here. But after he gets through on Dave's seats, really, he should be able to bring it home clean, or at least pretty close. Gunter through on J.J. Wang, who's riding in third. He and Hamlin continuing to slip back here little by little on seats. As your leaders are about to converge here in a couple corners. Hill with a slowdown. Gunter got run off the track there just a little bit. And there goes Gunter through on Dave's seats.
And Gunter 2/10 faster than Hill the last time around.
It's going to take some intervention at this point, but intervention's not been hard to come by tonight at Sebring. Oh, problems for Rob Henry. He is back pointed in the right direction, but got off track, made some contact with an Armco. Oh, that car is continuing to give him fits here. So he'll drop from 6th down to 8th. Gunter with a clear track ahead. Next up will be Mike Pepper, and after that, I don't think he'll have to worry about much. Christopher Hill will have to get through here on Dave's seats. And Schlosser has caught Burrows again. Surprise, surprise. So they'll continue to duke it out here for 4th in the final 2 laps. Ooh, problem for Rob Henry again, and this is just starting to dogpile on him a bit. Went around there in the Sunset Bend. So no battles for position for the LMP2s. You got a couple that are close, including Burrow and Schlosser's for the GT3. But it's a 1.4 second advantage for Dave Seats. He and Gunter both looking to break out the brooms. It'd be their second sweeps of the season each. Bernie Gunter back to the stripe. White flag is out here at the home track. No pressure at all from behind. And the white flag for Dave Seats. A little pressure from behind. 1.7 seconds back is Mike Hamlin.
And behind those two, this battle continues. Schlosser is not letting Burrows get away.
Bernie Gunter coming through turn 16 and 17. We'll see the checkered flag this time. And it's a night of treats for the 0-1. Brody Gunter is back to the stripe, and he will take the sweep for the second week in a row here at Sebring. A good recovery for Christopher Hill. He will take second. Dave Seats continuing to pull away here from Mike Hamlin as they are down the Ullman Straight for the final time. Josh Hagee will round out the podium for your LMP2 class. The podium runners will all cross here in about 4 seconds of one another, led by another driver breaking out the broom for the second time here this season, Dave Seats. Out of the Sunset Bend, we'll see the checkered flag for the second time. Win number 5 for Seats and for Gunter on the season. Great run for Mike Hamlin. We'll talk to him here in a second. Finally gets a night to go his way. JJ Wang will round out the podium. Kevin Burrows able to hang on to the 4th spot in that hotly contested battle with Matt Schlosser. Schlosser will take a top 5. And that should about do it. Everybody is across the stripe. Gunter, one of the only people still out on the track. I think some drivers looking forward to putting this one behind him. But Gunter here at the home track tonight. An extra lap around Sebring with the headlights flashing all the way. And he will start to whip some burnouts, or at least try. Well, let's get you a full finishing rundown here. We'll see if Gunter's going to burn it down for us in the meantime. But it is Gunter with the sweep here tonight. Christopher Hill will rally for second. We'll talk to them here in just a sec. And I'm sure they'll have some words with each other in the infield care center here as well. Third tonight for Josh Heggie. Solid podium run for him. Nate Siefker will finish in spot number 4. It's Dan Miglin rounding out the top 5. Joshua Rutherford in 6th. Brian Deason 7th. Austin Lafferty in 8th. At DNF's 4th, Corey Rutherford and Jarrell Williams, who had some hardware issues early on in tonight's feature. GT3 finishing order. Dave Seats will take the sweep as well. $20 to him and Brody Gunter in their treats here tonight at Sebring. Mike Hamlin will finish at 2nd. We'll talk to them in just a moment. It'll be 3rd for JJ Wang, Kevin Burrows, Matt Schlosser. Round out your top 5. The bagman, Johnny Alford in 6th. Alex Allen in 7th. Rob Henry, Calvin Levy in Lakeland. The rest of the top 10, Matthew Johnston next up. Then it's Nick Batista, Tyler McGlennon, Brian Bonneau, Travis Fleming, Mike Pepper, and Blair Warner. The drivers that will finish, Will Wolf and Rene Garcia, early retirees here tonight at Sebring. So we'll go ahead and bring up your podium finishers here, and it's good to talk to Mike Hamlin in booth 200. We'll finish in the runner-up spot in the GT3 division here tonight. Well done.
Thank you.
It's, I don't think I need to tell you how difficult of a season it's been for you thus far. It seems like you've been on the receiving end of a lot of the brute force that's happened on the track. But tonight, against all odds, things have gone your way.
About time. Last few weeks have been brutal. I had good finishes kind of taken away, I feel like. But, I mean, one of those things, racing, it happens. People make mistakes. Aggression, but we managed to pull through tonight. Made it through traffic on the final race, and kind of got hooked up with my teammate there towards the end. We both came out of pit lane together, side by side, so it was a little interesting, and we made it work and kind of hooked up and drove away. So,
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a good run here. This track, extremely flat, extremely bumpy, can be difficult. Some windy portions there. We saw some traffic really get into each other hard as well.
Yeah.
What was it like around for you here tonight?
Interesting. Like, a lot of time, a lot of laps around this track, so that's a good thing. Had some misfortune in the first race. LMP got into a GT3 right in front of me in exiting tower, which kind of ended my run for the second on that one. I thought I had it there, and which is okay. Teammate kind of took it for me, and we got a 1-2-3 out of it. So in the heat race, so I'll take that, and managed to just kind of survive that first lap during the main. So.
Well, you got some momentum on your side now, headed into Fuji next week. Congrats on the runner-up finish. Shout-outs for you here tonight.
Yeah, my teammates, obviously, Dave Seats, Kevin, Rob, all of us working hard, trying to put in time. Team Limitless, just doing what we can here to survive. Dave's kind of carrying us along with all these wins, though.
He is certainly cleaning up thus far this season. But you got some momentum on your side here now. Keep it up. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week at Fuji.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Good to talk to Mike Hamlin finally. And we've talked to Dave Seats already tonight. Why don't we do it again anyway, just for fun? Dave Seats will break out the broom for the second time here this season. It's win number 5 for driver 44. Congrats. Welcome back.
Thanks, man.
Well, you were awfully patient last week, and it did not pay off in the feature after taking the inverts. Patience does pay off here tonight, as it's, I think, maybe one of the only times we've seen an actual pass for the lead on pit road happen. That was a different one, but I'm sure a welcomed one as well.
Yeah, it was definitely a spicy pit exit. Thankfully, Hamlin is a teammate, so we were in Discord together, and we had it figured out by the time we got to the green cones how we were going to work it. So that would have been a lot more interesting had it been against anybody else.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on another win here, Dave. You're getting the $20 for the trick or treat bonus, by the way. So congrats on that for getting the big sweep here tonight. And yeah, I mean, you were pretty patient working your way through the field here. You got caught up behind quite a few folks, and I've kind of heard you talk about patience a lot here throughout the early part of the season already. But a couple of weeks you've been able to get through pretty quickly. This one, it took you over 20 minutes. It was about 25 minutes for you to get through most of the traffic. What was different about tonight?
The field has grown. We have so many more cars now than we did in the beginning of the season. That, and you gotta be very careful. There's a lot of new guys that are out there racing, and I know we have a couple on our team. So you just gotta kind of feel out how the person's gonna be in front of you, and sometimes they'll pull a move and it really surprises you. So trying to get to the front is great. But you don't want to wreck anybody on the way to do it. Like that's not how I want to race, and that's not how I want to be raced. So just do what you can to get there and have some fun while you're doing it.
Well, it sure looked like a lot of fun here tonight, and winning is always fun as well. It's win number 17 for you with the ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship. Congrats on the sweep. Congrats on the 20 bones here tonight as well. Shout-outs for you once again.
Again, you guys up in the booth, you guys put on a great broadcast that I watched back at work the following day. Corey and all the admins at ASRL, Eminent Signs and Graphics, and then, like I said, Jordan at Full Sign Graphics for hooking me up with a sweet paint, also helping the rest of the team, and then Chris at East Tool Sales for coming on board this season for the car for a sponsor.
All righty, partner. Congrats on another one. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week in Fuji.
Sounds good. Have a good evening, gentlemen.
So we will now move on to the LMP2 division, and we'll talk to Christopher Hill up first. We'll take the second place here tonight in the dash and in the feature. A tale of two races there. First of all, congrats and welcome back to the booth. An interesting start to this one here tonight. You rallied back quite well, but Contact there battling for the lead early.
Yeah, it was an interesting night for sure. I mean, I definitely didn't have the pace through quali and practice, and even for the first part of the, even for the heat race, to be honest. But I kind of messed myself up in the heat race and had a little spin on my own, and then I don't know. I kind of watched back the deal with Brody there, and I'm sure he didn't intend to make contact the way he did, but it was a little bit unfortunate and a little bit of a bummer there because I think we could have had a good race for the rest of it, and I thought I left him enough space, but it is what it is. So glad to be able to recover back to P2, but little bummed because I think I definitely had the pace to give him a run for it for the overall there by the end, but just unfortunate early laps there. So
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a great run still, Chris. I mean, you obviously had the pace there towards the end of the race, fighting your way back towards Brody. Is it difficult to maybe not try and make yourself overdrive the car in this case? Because this is a track that I don't think overdriving helps you whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely I definitely have a driving style that I like to, brake late and carry the brakes in, and it took me a little bit to tune that out for this track, remembering that, it doesn't seem to like that as much here, and the car didn't seem to like it as much here. So, it took me until, somewhere in the future before I kind of like went, oh yeah, you dummy, what are you doing? and kind of fixed it. But, by then I was already quite a ways back, and, so yeah, I mean, it was fun, all things considered. It's fun to go through the field and all of that, but a little bit hoping that we can turn our fortunes around here for the next round and get back up at the top of the standings there. Because I mean, at least we got a good fight with Brody going as far as the championship goes. So hopefully we can find a circuit that suits us a little better and get back into my winning ways. So yeah.
Yep, certainly great battling on the track and a good points battle as well, like you mentioned. Looking forward to it here as we're already hitting the halfway mark of the season next week at Fuji. So we'll look forward to more of the same next week. In the meantime, though, shout-outs for you as usual.
Team Watson Racing Setup Shop, thanks to James and the gang and all of them. If you're looking for setups, hit them up. Precision Racing Instruction. We're working on some cool stuff here, working on booking some courses and that kind of stuff that we're going to be offering hopefully in the next couple weeks or month or so. Hopefully don't keep getting pushed back, but we'll see when that comes out. And if you're looking for one-on-one instruction, that kind of stuff, we can do that too. So thanks to you guys. Hopefully we'll see you next week with a good result. So
sounds like a plan. Thanks for the time as always, and have a good one. We'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
That is Christopher Hill, and we'll break out the broom once again here for Brody Gunter, who will take the top spot here tonight at Sebring in the dash and in the feature. Welcome back. It has not been but 40 minutes since we talked to you last.
Yes, sir. Not the way I wanted the race to go. I don't know if there's anything I could have done differently. That whole lap 2 scenario, I feel like I made an aggressive move into the hairpin where they both kind of missed the hairpin. And then decided to back out knowing there wasn't going to go anywhere, and then watch them battle, and then watch Nate have an incident before going for my own pass and here was the last turn. I don't know if there's anything I could have done differently. I could have, I was just watching it with Josh Rutherford. I could have taken it a half a car length shallower, but I think the result would have been the same way with how much he was pinching me down for like the lead. We were really low for that corner. I was telling Josh, I think for that turn I was taking a whole different approach compared to everyone else. Following the actual cones around turn 17. At one point when Corey wrecked, I actually hit a cone. Apparently you get a contact point for touching those. I did not know that, so found that out. It's treated as a wall.
That's that was one lap out of the 22 that you ran here tonight, but it was certainly an eventful one with you going from third to first by the end of it. But you were able to move on pretty quickly from it, as pretty much everybody else by one way or another had sort of gotten out of the way and were behind you for the rest of the race. But how do you put that behind you and move on?
I feel like I've already have. I feel like I looked at it. I saw what happened. I've had my opinion on what happened. I'm going to go from there. I don't know what Chris is. I can apologize. I'll probably apologize to him, send him a message. But I don't feel like there's anything I could have done differently that would have changed the outcome, except possibly just postponing it for another 100 feet, where it probably would have still happened with how low we were for that corner. But just gotta just put it behind you. On to Fuji next week. I've done that track in a long time, and I've never done an LMP, so that should be very interesting.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, well, congrats on the race win. You swept the field here tonight for the LMP2, so you're gonna get $20 for the courtesy of Brian Deese, by the way, for the trick or treat little thing he's got going on there. So, what kind of Halloween candy are we gonna buy with that $20 you're getting?
Yeah. Well, if we're talking about what candy, I'm a chocolate person. I don't like peanut butter and nuts or anything that stuff like that. So I'm just a classic chocolate person. But I'll probably spend that $20 on something iRacing wise. Either being, I don't know if there's any tracks this season I don't own, but I've talked about buying a Toyota Next Gen just for the heck of it.
Well, that'll be $20 well spent. Get yourself some candy though. Congrats on the sweet beer tonight. Shout outs for you once again.
CGI Graphics, Mullet Music Productions, Tone 200, everyone at ASRL, 510 Racing, and I want to thank Brian Dees for doing the trick or treat thing tonight. Cool as always. I hate that. I partly hate it because I wish both of us didn't sweep so someone would have got the trick part of it, but I'll still take it anyway since I get $20, so I'm not going to completely complain about it.
Well, you just got to remember for next Halloween to not sweep the night, and then somebody could take the trick, and you could be the selfish one and give up one of the wins.
Yeah, I can't make any promises.
Well, you got the year to think about it anyway. But congrats on the sweet beer tonight. Go celebrate. Go party hard. We'll talk to you again here soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
And that is Fuji, by the way, with the chicane. And I can already envision that nice wide track bottling up in the chicane and everybody hating Fuji next week. Very much looking forward to that. That's only be the second time we've had Fuji on the channel, so that'll be a fun one. Matt, we got a week to think about Fuji, but we got a week to think back on Sebring here tonight. Not quite as chaotic, save for about one lap in the feature as maybe we were expecting, but some pretty fun racing here tonight.
Yeah, this is a fun one. I mean, this is a track that a lot of folks put in a lot of laps, so when you come to one of those types of racetracks, everybody's kind of at their best, you would think, kind of on their A game. So coming to a racetrack like that is always fun to come to in a league setting, and the drivers put on a show for us here tonight. So shout out to the drivers. Shout out specifically to Jarrell Williams and Alex Howland, the Cautions and Coffees drivers, for sponsoring the race here tonight. And of course, thanks to Brian Deese for the Trick or Treat Awards, going to the treaters for Get the Sweeps here tonight. And shout out to everybody that was in the chat with us. Not too many, but some of our mainstays in the chat. Of course, Jeff Mathis, John Kay, Don Golden, and Joshua Rutherford. Appreciate you all being here chatting with us. Anybody else that was watching, always appreciate it. And cannot wait for Monday. That is going to be our next broadcast, and it is the triumphant return for the final season of Truck 200.
Trunks are back, baby. Monday nights from Texas Motor Speedway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's a recruitment race, so if you're on the fence and you've got a C-Class oval license and 1500 I rating on the ovals, come out and join us for some truck racing Monday night from Texas. Truck 200 is coming back, baby. That will lead us into next Wednesday night's race for the ASRL Limited Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship from Fuji at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that as well. And again, a reminder, no Max V action tomorrow night. We will pick up from Martinsville next Thursday night after the Fuji race from ASRL on Wednesday night. Thank you to ASRL Eminent Signs and Graphics, Sports Car Championship sponsor, Eminent Signs and Graphics. I thought I had it memorized. Now I got to go look. Dang it. Oh, it is from channel letters to monument signs. And I was going to say from monument signs to channel letters. I almost had it. They can handle it all because, of course, they can. They're Eminent Signs and Graphics. Thank you to them for being the title sponsors of the ASRL Limited Signs and Graphics Sports Car Championship. Thank you to Team Watson Racing Setups. Thank you to CGR Graphics. Thank you to Mullet Music Productions for the fantastic theme tune, as always. And thank you to the American Sim Racing League. We're celebrating 25 years of sim racing excellence. Thank you very much to the entire admin team. Thank you to Corey Rutherford and Rick Thompson. Thank you to the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson. That's all we got for you here tonight. Until we meet again from Sebring International Raceway, I'm Tommy Cook, saying so long, and congratulations to Dave Seats and to Brody Gunter breaking out the brooms and taking the $20 treat. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.